So this video is to help people who want to use a map like this for a momentum graphic in their newsletters or for updates, or if you're doing an email blitz. This is a graphic that you might want to use. This is sort of the end product that you can then take a screenshot of. If you want to layer different words or other images on top of it, you'd want to take a screenshot first and then do that in another program like Word or Publisher, or that sort of thing. But today this video is just to show you how to get the blue line, the path, onto the screen, as well as the green car icon, which is the piece that you'll move to indicate the percentage that you're at of your monthly budget. So this is our sort of a final product, but in order to get to this website, you want to go ahead and Google My Maps Google, and then the top option should be Google My Maps. So if you click on that link, it'll take you to this screen, and you'll be able to click on Create a New Map. So the red button in the top upper left-hand corner. Okay, so from here you have a plain map, and there's a couple of things that you can change right off the bat. The one is you'll see it says Untitled Map, and so you might want to change that to something that you're going to recognize. So and now, hypothetically, your partners aren't going to really see that title, right? It's mostly just for you and organizational purposes. So if for some reason you're going to create more than one map, you're going to want to give it a title so that you know how to find it later. The next thing that we want to do is to get the blue path onto our map. And so in order to do that, we're actually going to go over to this series of buttons that is just underneath the search bar. And you'll see that this button here, it kind of looks like a merge sign. And if I hover over it, it says Add Directions. So when I click on that, it's going to create a new layer. You'll see it says Untitled Layer, Untitled Layer. We're going to come back to this first one, so we don't want to delete it. But let's start out with the second one. I'm going to rename this to Path. Again, you can call it whatever you want. It's not something the partners are going to see. And then I want to put in my starting point. So if you're starting from New York, you type New York in here. You can type in a specific street address if you like, if you want to be more specific. The initial A dot itself is just going to appear like it's in a general area, but you can be as specific or general in this case as you like. I'm going to put the endpoint in Dallas, Texas. Obviously, you want this to reflect your own journey to where you're starting out to where you're going to. I apologize for that zoom in. That was automatic when I put in this. And so you see now that I have the blue path, with A being kind of representing 0% of my ministry budget, and B representing 100%. And so that's how you get the path onto your screen. Once you have the path, now we want to get the car that indicates what percentage we're at. In order to do that, we're going to go back up to this layer that we skipped earlier. I'm going to title this Progress. And like I said before, you can name it whatever you'd like. It doesn't have to be the same as mine. And then we're going to go up to the search bar and type in an address. Now, in order to figure this out initially, because of the way that you're going to be able to move the car around the map, it's not really essential that you're precise in where it starts out. So I could put somewhere in Iowa and the car be up here, and that's not a big deal because I'm going to drag it here in a few minutes. Now, there are people who kind of approach this differently. And so some people will look at the path and they actually want to do calculations to decide how many miles are equated to each % of their ministry budget, and then move the car accordingly. So they actually go and look up how many miles into the trip that would be, where the car would be at. And you're welcome to do that. I'm not going to try to illustrate that in this webinar. What I would typically do is just to go ahead and eyeball it. So if I want to say that I'm at 20% of my ministry budget, I would put it here. Say right out here, I'd go maybe about here for 50%, 75%. Okay, but it's whatever you're comfortable with. If you want to do the calculation parts of it, go ahead. But I don't think there's anything wrong if you just estimate. So in order to get the car, I'm going to go ahead and just put in Nashville. It's a little bit over halfway on my blue path. Again, that's not really super important, but You have to put it somewhere. So once you have the green location marker, click Add to Map. You'll see it turn blue. It has a white circle in it now. The next thing you want to do is click on the paint bucket. The paint bucket, you can choose whatever color you like. So I chose green for my example, but you can make yours orange or purple or gray or black, whatever you want to do. And the next thing is we want to choose an icon. And so, I guess I didn't say it, but I want to click on this More Icons button so I can see all of the selections. And then I chose Transportation here at the top. And then I picked Car. You see there's lots of different options, but we're going to go with Car for this example. Click OK. And then the car will be the color that you chose here. So then we can X out of this and X this. And I'm going to zoom back a little bit. Okay. And now you can see where the car is on your map. Now, as you progress through your ministry budget, you're going to want to be able to move your car. The easiest way to do that is to left click on the car, and then choose this little pencil. So if I hover over the pencil, it says Edit. If I click on it, and now click on the car and drag it, I can move it anywhere around the screen. Okay, and so you just move it along, let go, click somewhere else, and now you're ready to do your screenshot. And that's all there is to it. So again, once you get to this point, you're probably going to want to take a screenshot so that it becomes a photo that you can then layer text on top, give it a title that your partners can see, and then you'll be able to insert that into whatever kind of communication you're trying to share. And that's it. Thank you.